Hey everybody, Alisha here with Terradrift, your sustainable travel and adventure experts. And we're gonna talk about shoes. Yeah, again, because why not? Specifically this time, the Evolv Cruzer Psyche approach shoe. We're going to talk about this shoe specifically because it is actually a stupendous shoe for travel and outdoor adventure. We're going to talk all about why and what we like so much about this shoe. But first, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our future gear reviews and updates. And go ahead and follow us on, all the social channels like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're at Terradrift on all of them. Now that that's over with, now that you've done that, let's talk about these shoes. So these shoes, which are very dirty, but once again, that's how you know we tested them, are the Evolv Cruzer Psyche approach shoes. What makes them approach shoes? I'm so glad you asked. Basically, a couple of features. One is this cool sort of collapsible heel, because when you're constantly sliding your feet in and out of climbing shoes, when you're coming on and off the wall, you don't want to have to lace up a shoe every time you unclip. So it's really nice to just be able, when you get off the wall, to slide your foot right in there. So you can collapse the heel, step on it, walk on it, whatever, without damaging the shoe's structure, which is super cool. The Psyche also has let's call it a toe cap. This protected bit around the toe that makes it not only a good shoe for hiking, scrambling, that sort of thing, but also for a bit of climbing. You could do a little bouldering in these shoes. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but that's what it's for. So if you are doing some more rugged adventure type outings in them, the toe of the shoe isn't going to get destroyed prematurely. The last feature that makes these an approach shoe is the sole. Because Evolv is a climbing company, they make their soles out of climbing rubber. So these soles are actually super sticky. The tread may not actually look like too much as far as the deepness or aggressiveness of it goes, but it is super sticky. I hiked all over Europe with these shoes, including scrambling up waterfalls in Iceland, and never lost my footing once. And I credit it all to these shoes. That said, these shoes are super stable on just about any terrain. And they're vegan, so that's a plus. They're also just a great all-around travel and adventure shoe. They're lightweight, they don't weigh much at all. You can clip them to the outside of your pack. They're pretty minimalist, so you can just smash them down flat, or I frequently just clipped them to the outside of my bag. They're great for day hikes because they've got that tread that can handle a bit of uneven or slippery terrain. And frankly, they don't look too bad doing it. I will say that this color is not available anymore, which is probably for the best because, after hiking in some volcanic situations with a lot of really black sand and dust, they are no longer a nice, clean cream color anymore. But they are available in multiple, dare I say, better colors these days, including navy and kind of an army green color for women, and a grayish and black shade for men. Now, if you know anything about how we feel about shoes, it's that we hate it when women's shoes come in different, usually more feminine colors than the men's versions. However, Evolv says that all of their Cruzer Psyche shoes are unisex. You can order a men's or women's color. You just have to size up or down. And the website even explains how best to do that. Keep in mind that these are shoes from a climbing company, so the toe box is fairly narrow. If you have extra wide feet, these may not be the shoes for you. As for what size to choose, I went with a 7. It's a size that I usually wear in sandals and more minimalist shoes that don't have a lot of padding, and I usually size up to an 8 for something like running shoes or boots. However, this 7 is pretty snug. Now that's a good thing if you're going to be doing a lot of climbing or scrambling in them, if you plan to do some bouldering, that sort of thing. But if you're just going to be wearing them around town or doing some moderate day hikes, things like that, they're a little bit snug for that, at least in the size that I got for myself. I definitely should have sized up to something like a 7.5 or 8. I was just afraid to because my foot's so skinny. Sometimes with shoes like this that don't have a lot of structure to them, end up being too big. So let's talk about comfort then. I'm not gonna lie, they are not the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. After walking around all over Europe in them for 2 months. My feet were not super thrilled. I wore them again recently when I walked several miles a day around Denver during a recent trade show, and my feet still didn't quite enjoy it. I've tried inserts, I've tried some other things to make them a little more squishy and comfortable, but the truth is, because of that sticky rubber and them being from a climbing shoe company, the sole is a bit stiff. In addition to not being super comfortable on my feet, they tend to sort of flap a little when you walk. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but you sort of feel like you're flapping, clomping, I don't know, whatever word you want to use. It's sort of a weird way to walk, and that's just because they're not super flexible in the sole. That said, this shoe is still a pretty amazing choice as an all-around travel shoe because it can do pretty much everything, which I love about it. Clearly, I've worn them a lot, so any sort of weird discomfort or clompy walking hasn't deterred me from using them because they are such a versatile shoe. You might find them super comfortable, or you might need to find a comfy insert to slide in there. Either way, we think you should give the Evolv Cruzer Psyche shoes a try, especially if you're into adventure travel. What do you think? Have you tried the Psyche? What about any of the other Evolv shoes? Would you give these guys a try? Or do you have another perfect all-around travel shoe you think we should try out? Please share it! As always, thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Terradrift, and check out our website, terradrift.com, for all sorts of additional sustainable travel and adventure content, including shoe reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. Wander on.